Bred to Win, brought to you by Arrowfield, the home of four-time champion sire Schnitzel.
At 10 million, take 500 more, at 10 million.
Hello, I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to a new season of Bred to Win. Coming up in this series, we'll be profiling new and proven stallions from Australia and around the world, starting here at historic Vinery Stud with their new sire for 2024, the regally bred Hawaii 5-0, along with Ole Kirk and Exceedance. Then we head west to Eddie Riggs' Geisel Park, where we'll bring you Caulfield Guineas runner-up Aysar, informed sire winning Rupert, and the much-loved Manhattan Rain and All-American. And well-known industry figure and Magic Millions auctioneer Grant Burns in Arrowfield Stud's industry influences. That's all coming up, but first, the latest Aushorse news. Arrowfield Stud announced through the week their young sire, the Autumn Sun, will be rested from stud duties this season after injuring his pelvis. The word is the son of Redout's Choice and five-time Group 1 winner is recovering well, but it's particularly bad luck for the stallion and the Arrowfield team, given the recent outstanding performances by his offspring, including Group 1 winning fillies Autumn Angel, Coco Sun and Vibrant Sun.
He's going to go the Monash and the Bletchingley back-to-back at the 70.
There was only one group race in Australia on Saturday, the Group 3 Bletchingley Stakes at Caulfield, and Recommendation led home a Quinella for his sire Shalar, beating home Semillon. The winner is from the Street Cry mare Adviso, while Shalar, a son of Invincible Spirit, now stands at Victoria's Woodside Park at a fee of $19,800. Swettenham Stud's I Am Immortal had another 2-year-old winner at Sandown, with I Am Velvet now 3 for 3 for the Philip Stokes and Australian thoroughbred bloodstock team, taking out the Vobis Gold Ingot. I Am Immortal, a Blue Diamond Preview and Prelude winner, stands this season at Swettenham Stud at a fee of $13,750. And another strong 2-year-old performance at Caulfield was that of Public Attention, whose trainer Mick Price says is potentially aiming at the Caulfield Guineas. A $160,000 NZB yearling from Caulfield Park, he was bred by the late Sir Patrick Hogan from Legramore, a daughter of Sir Patrick's New Zealand 1,000 and 2,000 guineas winning filly Katie Lee. Public Attention sire Written Tycoon is the champion Victorian sire for the 9th time for the 23-24 season and stands for a private fee at Yulong Farm in Victoria this spring. Always a great spring lead-up, the Lightning Stakes at Morfordville in Adelaide was won by the intriguingly bred Lingani. From a De Beers mare Betty Butterscotch, the 3-year-old filly Sire America is by Schnitzel from champion sprinter Alingi. A $1.8 million yearling bred by Arrowfield Stud, America stood from 2017 to 2020 in SA and Victoria, producing 56 foals before dying in 2021.
Once again, Tarpaulin's got them well covered.
Saturday's Randwick meeting saw the continued progression of Darley's promising Tarpaulin, a half-brother to stakes winners Aft Cabin, Multaja and Veronillo from the Lonhro Mare's Shelters. The colt is by Darley's July Cup winner Harry Angel, who stands at Darley's New South Wales base this spring at a fee of $38,500. And the Inglis Digital sales successes rolled on, with Victory Roll taking out the Randwick Highway over 1,800 metres. A $2,200 March Inglis Digital buy, now with Pat Murphy, son of former long-term ATC track manager Lindsay Murphy, who along with wife Bernie are shareholders in the horse. By Lope de Vega's son Bellardo, Victory Roll has now won 3 times for his new stable, with earnings over $90,000. Bellardo stood from 2017 to 2020 at the Chitty family's Haunui farm in New Zealand. And the French-trained and German-bred Goliath took out the British feature, the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot, beating a star-studded field. Goliath is a son of the Saddler's World's Line stallion Adler Flug from a Shamadal mare. Vinery Stud here in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales has long been home to breed-shaping stallions, and the roster this year sees exciting young sires Exceedance and Ole Kirk joined by new boy Hawaii 5-0, a son of I Am Invincible and Aloha. He's been a star since the day he was born. Adam, well, we've been met with a glorious day here at Vinery Stud, and again, coming off a great season for Vinery. You've had All Too Hard with horses such as Alligator Blood winning Group 1s in the spring, and Steffi Magnetica winning a Stradbroke, and so many others too. But you kept the service fees at the same level for mare owners, which is a great thing in the current climate.
Absolutely, Caroline. Like I think our fees are very competitive, and it's one thing we pride ourselves on is when breeders, talking to breeders, they regularly comment that your horses are so well priced and value for money, and we can get a win in the sale ring, which is extremely important. And then on the flip side of that, not only getting that win in the sale ring, but on the racetrack, and the way the stallions are going, they're certainly doing that.
Here's Hawaii 5-0. Oh, he exploded. 200 metres to go. The Guineas is over.
Well, of course, we're here largely to see the new boy Hawaii 5-0. Of course, he's by now three-time champion Australian sire in I Am Invincible from Coolmore Classic winner Aloha. He earned $2.1 million on the track, and he was really special from the outset, wasn't he? Of course, not least being owned by a pretty impressive triumvirate of Jerry Harvey, John Singleton, and the legendary broadcaster Ray Hadley.
That's right. No, it's very exciting to have a new horse, in the calibre of Hawaii 5-0. As you said, we've profiled him very much like his father, I Am Invincible. He's very similar looking, as you can see, in the footage that you got this morning. He was a dual Group 3 winner, but he was a proper Group 1 horse as well. To run a placing in the Stradbroke handicap as a 3-year-old, and then just to be narrowly beaten in the Premier Stakes behind Think About It and defeating, a filly like Bella Nipotina into third, and then only being 2.5 lengths off them in the Everest. He was a proper Group 1 type horse.
Hawaii 5-0 on the outside.
He also won a Hawkesbury Guineas and the Fred Best as well, and then all of the time he was racing was against the very best sprinters in the land. Absolutely,
and the way he won those Group 3 races, his turn of foot was exceptional, and I think that's what breeders like to see in a young stallion. And especially that Hawkesbury Guineas winner, he really put on the burners that day. But then to step up to another level and take on those horses like Think About It and I Wish I Win and Bella Nipotinas, they're very good Group 1 sprinters. So, to match it with those sort of horses is the calibre of horse he is.
And he's just a beautiful looking animal. I mean, he's a large horse. He has a big frame. Obviously, he'll fill that out as he gets on with his new job too. But he has that lovely swagger and athleticism, doesn't he?
Magnificent walk. I Am Invincibles are probably not renowned for their big loose walks like that, at yearling sales, but he certainly has a beautiful action, and as you say, he's a lovely big scopy horse. He's got a good muscle tone to him, got a lovely short cannon, lovely correct in front, beautiful stallion's head on him with a massive jowl. So yeah, physically, we're wrapped in him, and he's starting to let down already in just a few months that he's been here, and we're sort of getting close to our open day now, so we're really looking forward to showing him off on that weekend. It's a very strong pedigree, and Aloha was a Group 1 winner herself. She threw another very talented filly in Hawaii 5-0's full sister in Libertini, who was an extremely talented sprinter before her premature death. But the unique thing about the pedigree is his first 5 dams are all stakes winners, and that's something no other stallion in the country has, so that sort of shows how much depth he has to his family. It didn't take long for him to get a lovely full book of mares, which he's got now, and not only a full book, but some good quality mares from good quality breeders. And I think when you got you know, very successful stallion farms like Coolmore, Yarram and Arrowfield supporting a horse like this, you know you've got a fairly serious candidate to be a proper stallion in the years to come.
And Exceedance, it's great to see him here. I mean, he's always been a magnificent looking horse himself, we know by Exceed and Excel, but he has a number of classy 2-year-olds flying the flag. Of course, he was a Coolmore Stud Stakes winner, won a San Domenico, but he started so well, didn't he? Of course, Dublin Down winning the Maribyrnong Plate, and then the Pago in the autumn, and Flyer winning the former National Stakes in Adelaide, which is now the David Coles AM Stakes. And I just see every week, or it seems every week, there are more of them coming out, whether it be trialling or having jump outs or racing, that are catching people's attention.
Absolutely, Caroline. Like, he's a horse we're very proud of because, you know, we did buy him as a yearling and we had so much fun racing him with a lot of good friends, and you know, that Coolmore day was a very special day when he won that race. So, and now to, you know, see his young stock coming through and hitting the tracks is fantastic. So, you know, some good, you know, Sydney Saturday winners in like Swift Falcon and Brave One. You know, those two horses are very promising horses. I believe Swift Falcon's being aimed for the Caulfield Guineas and Brave One's going to be heading towards the Golden Rose. So they're fairly serious horses. And as you say, now that we are in July, a time that he started on the racetrack, we're starting to see quite a few of them pop up for some good stables too. And the breeders have taken notice of that. You know, and he's had some good sale results this year too. You know, they sold up to 520,000 this year. So, you know, off his $30,000 service fee, it's not hard to get a good return on the stock, and you know they could increase in value. You know, if he keeps going the way he's going.
Ole Kirk up to Aysar, it's got it!
And Ole Kirk, of course, the son of a champion sire, written tycoon, from a full sister to one of the world's greatest sprinters in Black Caviar. And when you're talking dam sides, it doesn't get much better than the great Scandinavia legacy.
No, we're getting to a very exciting stage with Ole Kirk, obviously. You know, when we got him here, you know, he filled, you know, so many, you know, criterias that we look for in a stallion. You know, he's got a wonderful female family, probably one of the best in the country. He's by a stallion, you know, in Written Tycoon, who, you know, this year again has probably gone up to another level with his 2-year-olds. So he's got the female family. He's a very attractive looking horse. He's got the race record. You know, he won his first start in a stakes race at Flemington. He was Group 1 placed as a 2-year-old, and he was obviously much better as a 3-year-old, winning 2 Group 1s. So we're really getting to that, you know, exciting stage with his stock, you know, coming off, you know, good yearling sale results this year, and they're not far from hitting the track. We've just done a lot of work recently, Caroline, on that first crop coming through. You know, they've been in and out of preparations quite a bit now, and the great thing about the yearling sales as well is some of the, you know, the strong racing stables they've gone into. So, you know, we're getting great feedback. And the one thing we've picked up is, you know, how, you know, a great brain they've got, and they're handling the, you know, the pressure quite early. So, you know, although he was probably a later 2-year-old, I think we're going to see, you know, quite a few pre-Christmas that are going to come out in early because they've got the brain, and, you know, they're sensible horses and handling the work well. So we're getting to that really exciting stage.
Plenty to look forward to this spring here at Vinery Stud. Coming up after the break, the Cambridge Stud Performance of the Week, and we head to Western Australia and Eddie Riggs' Geisel Park, home to 4 great sire options.
It had to be Zoo starting to edge clear over the concluding stages.
The Cambridge Stud Performance of the Week was the midweek win in Melbourne of their daughter of Zoustar. It had to be Zoo. The 4-year-old's win was witnessed by Cambridge owner Brendan Lindsay, who was in Australia to see Jolly Star win a Rose Hill trial. It had to be Zoo was a $340,000 Inglis Easter yearling buy from Kiora Stud. A favourite with the Cambridge team, Widden Stud Zoustar won the award for the stallion with the most wins at Australian Turf Club tracks. At a presentation at Randwick on Saturday, he finishes as runner-up champion Australian sire for the 23-24 season, with Cambridge Stud also tasting great success with stakes-winning offspring such as Jolly Star, Havana and Zurion. And a reminder, the Cambridge Stud Stallion Parade featuring new sire Chaldean will be held at 2:45 p.m. Sunday, August 25. You can contact the stud for more details. Western Australia may not have the breeding population of New South Wales or Victoria, but it's a state that punches above its weight in terms of winners produced and stallion power. Eddie Riggs' Geisel Park is a burgeoning WA operation, home to exciting sires Aysar and winning Rupert, and stalwart stallions Manhattan Rain and All American. Geisel Park is an outstanding looking property here in Western Australia. Been here since 1846, was formerly owned by Lieutenant General Sir Henry Bunbury. Of course, Bunbury's not too far away. Eddie and Kylie Rigg bought it in 2007. So close to the coast, but it has this beautiful, almost New Zealand soil.
It's a terrific property, beautiful for raising horses and growing horses on. The soils that we have here is, yeah, as you've touched to, it's almost New Zealand. Like for me, it's a touch of home, touch of the home country in Ireland over here. Beautiful green pastures, and we're quite labour intensive with what we do here on the farm. We try and reseed at least 2/3 of the property every year, and because we've got such really rich soils and the environment's just beautiful, we can really do that, and we're really focused on trying to put the best in to get the best out is what our game is here. And yeah, we couldn't be happier with the property itself, and Eddie and Kylie have just done a tremendous job since they purchased it in 2007, and just completely transformed the property into what it is today. So it's fantastic.
And the name Geisel Park, named after Dr. Zeus, the great children's author, was Theodore Zeus Geisel. Tell us about that, and some of the racing names that Eddie and the team have named have been following Dr. Zeus.
Yeah, Eddie's quite a character. He's a jovial character, all right, and he wanted a theme, and one of the themes that he came up with was with Dr. Zeus. And yeah, we've had quite a bit of success with the Dr. Zeus theme. Beppo Nabungus, Foddly Doddle, a few of those horses that have raced for us. Race caller's nightmare, a few of them, so there have been, but we sort of ran the well a little bit dry on Dr. Zeus, so we've moved on to the next one, which is the Castle. So there'll be a few for those Castle fans out there, a few coats and lines that'll be worth looking into.
Very good. And of course, Western Australia, you know, the WA breeders have a real knack for picking stallions that really work over here. A stallion that works here often produces generations of success.
We can compete anywhere in the country, and that is a testament to the breeders and what they're doing. The due diligence that they're doing when they're selecting their stallions, selecting their broodmares, selecting the crosses, not only just on cross and pedigree but type. It's a testament to everyone within the state that we have really diversified and kicked off, and we've got to ourselves to a really strong position and continue to be going in the right direction, which is a credit to everyone.
Well, starting looking at Aysar, I just love this horse. He's the Deepfield half-brother to Home Affairs. His dam is a half-sister to Russian Revolution, and there is a Western Australian syndicate involved, but Leneva Park is sending mares as well and still involved. And we know he was so close in Ole Kirk's Caulfield Guineas. He won the Chautauqua Stakes then as a 5-year-old, trained by the Hayes team, and first book last year, 89 mares. He's such a character, as I said. I mean, he really bounces around, and he thinks he's the man. He's been a special horse from day one, hasn't he?
He has. The first time I saw him was in Victoria last year, prior to coming to us, and he was a really eye-catching horse then, and that was fresh off the track. He got across here and he just blossomed. The stallion that we see today, he's really finishing into a tremendous horse, which we knew he would, but he's just such a quirky horse, and he's got all the attributes to be a really successful stallion going forward. You know, he was really well performed on the track, desperately unlucky not to be Group 1 winner, and probably the silver lining for us there is if he wins that Group 1, he doesn't stand in West Australia and give us an opportunity to get into a family as good as his. You look at the page, and his dam being a half to Russian Revolution, who just continues to knock it out of the park, and of course himself, Aysar himself, being a half to Home Affairs, who the world's his oyster. So look, the support that he achieved last year with a lot of the West Australian breeders and the likes of Leneva Park and Lindsay Park, who've held an interest as well, has been terrific. The quality of the mares that he covered, well performed mares on the track, and good quality stakes producing mares, which is really, really key, obviously for any stallion, but to be getting one off the ground in his first year, to be getting that quality of mare is really, really good. So that speaks volumes of the stallion himself. As a physical, what a specimen. He just catches your eye. He's got that presence about him, he's got that look about him. He's just such an imposing, beautiful horse. Fantastic to work with. In the breeding barn, his fertility is absolutely smashing. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with the horse. He's just ticking all the boxes, and really looking forward to the next few months when his first lot of progeny hit the ground. And if he stamps them like himself, well, the world's his oyster as well.
And of course, he's joined by winning Rupert. Now, he has a bit of a star over here in Rockin' Rupert as well, but his great claim to fame, obviously, nationally, is the wonderful Semana, who won the Triscay Stakes at Randwick, second in the Coolmore Classic, third in the Group 1 Queen of the Turf, and then an outstanding second to the superstar Bella Nipotina in the Tats Tiara. And what a great asset now he's over here in the West to have those sorts of horses. Seonee is another one that are really shining his light on a national scene.
Seonee has done a fantastic job. Semana's been absolutely flying, but locally he's winning Rockin' Rupert, Rupert's Empire, so he's doing the job locally as well. 3 stakes performed horses this season. He's probably at a point now since coming over here in probably career best form as a stallion. So again, he's another horse that's got a really bright future coming here. The good thing about him, he was a 2-year-old himself and produces 2-year-olds. We've got one of the best bonus schemes in the country with the West Speed and West Speed Platinum. So you take those horses that can run early, can also train on, and you're getting those West Speed bonuses of up to $80,000 if you win a race on a Saturday. He's probably just behind Playing God in the standings as it stands at the moment, and for the service fee, the difference in service fee, you would be all over winning Rupert every day of the week. All 4 stallions that we stand here are by champion sires. That was one of the points that we wanted. We wanted really a good, strong blood by top sires, and that was one of the things that we ticked upon. So to have Rupert here this year, again, it's really, really added depth to not only ourselves but to the state, and it gives people another option.
And of course, Manhattan Rain is here too. It's wonderful to see him. An Encosta de Lago half-brother to Redout's Choice. As a racehorse, he beat the best there were going around.
Absolutely, and he can do that as a breed mare, as a sire as well. She Will Reign, winning the Golden Slipper, was just fantastic, and he's still doing it to this day. He's still throwing stakes, performed stakes quality horses. He's another stallion that can throw 2-year-olds, but throw you those stakes horses at the later end, and you pick up those bonuses along the way, and it's just terrific for everyone.
And of course, All American, probably one of the best looking animals bred by John Singleton. He's by the son of Roberto and Red Ransom, who's been such a huge stallion influence, from Milva, of course, a daughter of the champion, and that stunning horse in Strawberry Road. You see so much Strawberry Road in All American. He's had Yankee Rose, and you don't realise the influence of these horses when they've been around for a while.
And not just as a brood mare sire, All American still doing a terrific job at stud, even if he is getting into the twilight of his career. Still, to this day, he's producing stakes quality horses, and it's one of the key points on us bringing stallions by champions into the state. That was very, very important for us. With Aysar in particular, getting that exposure nice and early on the East Coast through the Leneva Park and through Lindsay Park and those guys, it's going to be hopefully a real stepping stone for him to bridge that eastern market over there and really kick off to success. If we can get him off the ground on the east and have him firing shots here in West Australia, the world is his oyster, and that was really one of the key things for us. You look at his pedigree and he's physically, it's just terrific, and yeah, if we can get him firing on all cylinders and off to a flying start in a couple of years' time, well, who knows where we are.
And in coming weeks, we'll have an extended sit-down interview with Geisel Park's Eddie Riggs, talking all things WA breeding. Coming up after the break on Bred to Win, Grant Burns in Arrowfield Studs Industry Influences.
I've been extremely lucky. Don Hancock was the man who gave me a start in the industry, and I'll be forever grateful. He was a wonderful mentor to me in my early years, and he's retired in New Zealand now, but a fantastic man who taught me a lot. I had guys like Simon Vivian, Adrian Hancock, great friends and terrific mentors that I worked alongside. Auctioneering point of view, Steve Davis has been a great help to me. Even David Chester in my early days at Magic Millions. So I've been very, very lucky. And then latter years, a gentleman by the name of Ron Sayers, who's recently passed away in the last couple of years, as a great businessman, a horse breeder here in Western Australia, taught me so much about how to operate a business of my own and how people should be treated. He had a great saying, if it ain't fair, it ain't right. And if you stick to that when you're doing business, whatever business it might be, but especially in the horse game, it'll take you a long way.
It is a really almost a family industry. I mean, all those names you mentioned, particularly the ones through the sales companies, whether it be Magic Millions or Inglis, you know, they're all household names and they've been around for a while. But now you get a younger generation that would be seeing the same thing in yourself.
Oh, possibly, yeah. It's nice to be able to help the younger people coming through. I think it's really important that we do try and mentor them and give them some guidance. We're always constantly talking about things, and especially in the Magic Millions team that I'm involved with the auctioneering. It's great, the younger generation coming through there. It's great to be able to sit down with them and go through things and tell them how I would have done it or do it. And it's really important. But I've been blessed with the people that I've been taught by along the way, and hopefully I can pass on a few things to them in the next generation as well.
What do you say to those young people? As you say, there are some great young people coming through in the industry. What do you think is the most important thing for them to remember if they're going to succeed in the thoroughbred breeding industry within Australia?
Well, you've got to have integrity. That's the most important thing, in my humble opinion. Be honest, do the right thing by people, and it'll always come around. And there'll be tough times. It's a tough industry, but if you stick at it and you do the right thing, you'll go a long way.
That's all for Bred to Win this week. Don't miss next week's show as we head to Yarraman Park Stud, the home of three-time champion Sire I Am Invincible, and we catch up with the champion Sire's barnmates Hellbent and Brave Smash, and Coringal Stud's prized icon kicking goals with his champion filly Tropical Squall. That and much more next week. I'm Caroline Searcy. Look forward to seeing you then.
Bred to Win, brought to you by Arrowfield, the home of four-time champion sire Snitzel.